When you stare into an abyss for too long, the abyss stares back at you. This quote from Nietzsche's book Beyond Good and Evil conveys the idea that facing your inner emptiness will have a profoundly transformational effect on you. In a culture that values individualism and consumerism, it is becoming more and more typical to feel a sense of emptiness about life and the future, which causes suffering and loneliness. Desire is what the other person wants. Lacan, Jack. Lacan's main thesis, that human desire is characterized by a basic emptiness or lack, and that we continuously attempt to satisfy this emptiness through the desire of others, is reflected in this term. According to his theory, people are never fully contented, as their desires are always connected to what they see and envision in other people, signifying a never-ending quest. Lacan consistently emphasized how emptiness and incompleteness are components of the human psyche in his writings and seminars. Lacan's research allows us to view this emptiness from a different angle. Rather than being a burden, it can be viewed as a chance that will help us achieve our objectives and reach our achievement. Have you enjoyed this reflection so far? Then like the video and let me know in the comments what you think about the impact of individualism on our search for meaning. Individualism has practically become the standard in our day and age, and this mentality of every man for himself can make us feel empty on the inside. This emptiness frequently shows up as ongoing suffering, as though our lives were lacking something. The narcissistic self that craves attention is discussed by psychoanalyst Lacan. However, this quest can lead to a detachment from both oneself and other people. Many turn to shopping in an attempt to fill this void. We purchase items with the belief that acquiring more belongings will make us feel content and whole. In actuality, though, this want to consume can turn into a trap that only provides fleeting fulfillment. The emptiness returns to torment us as soon as the new object enters our life. Furthermore, this sensation may be made worse by our lack of boundaries and our pursuit of fulfillment. The culture in which we live pushes us to constantly desire more. This leads to a never-ending loop in which we are constantly seeking something outside of ourselves to satisfy our needs. It is crucial to comprehend these processes. Understanding the connections between materialism, individualism, and a lack of boundaries enables us to view emptiness as an opportunity rather than a burden. This emptiness may indicate that we are in need of something more profound, something that truly fulfills and gives our lives purpose. After that, we may start turning this absence into a strong motivator for our pursuit of real success. Our sense of emptiness is a common yet complicated emotion. It frequently shows up as an inward yearning for fulfillment and connection, stoking a need that transcends the surface. This yearning is a search for meaning and purpose in life, rather than merely more material possessions or relationships. Our sense of emptiness is a common yet complicated emotion. It frequently shows up as an inward yearning for fulfillment and connection, stoking a need that transcends the surface. This need is a search for meaning and purpose in life, not merely for more material possessions or connections. When we examine ourselves, we see that this lack may be a sign of our true desires, bringing to light our motivations. During reflective periods, emptiness can serve as a potent source of inspiration. It pushes us to pursue our interests and discover what truly gives us life. In this way, desire prompts us to consider what makes us happy and turns into an encouragement to explore new avenues and opportunities. We may use art, education, and exploration to channel this urge and produce something worthwhile. According to psychology, it's important to accept nothingness. We might see it as an indication that we are prepared to develop rather than as an enemy. We can give ourselves permission to feel and think rather than overindulging or looking for diversions. Although this internal conflict is difficult, it helps us understand our actual goals. Therefore, we can use emptiness as an ally that leads us to a more genuine and satisfying life if we accept it as a part of who we are. A person's life may suffer greatly from existential emptiness, which may manifest in actions and emotions that jeopardize mental health. According to Lacan's theories in his writings, including the seminar and book Wealth of the Four Fundamental Concepts of Psychoanalysis, emptiness and the idea of lack create a complicated dynamic in which the subject constantly tries to fill this gap. The pursuit of this fulfillment frequently results in rash decisions and behaviors that don't align with one's actual goals, which causes frustration and suffering. In Civilization, Freud explains how human life is inherently unhappy and how pursuing pleasure frequently results in pain. In The Cancer Cure, Eve explores the connection between existential agony and the pursuit of drugs or relationships for instant comfort, emphasizing how this search for relief can lead to self-destructive conduct. Furthermore, emptiness might directly lead to social estrangement. The Man in Search of Meaning by Rollo May claims that loneliness is a manifestation of emptiness that leads to a retreat from interpersonal relationships, intensifying the sense of isolation. But acknowledging and dealing with these repercussions is essential for personal development. Finding meaning can turn the feeling of emptiness into a chance for development and resiliency, as Viktor Frankl claims in Search of Meaning. Therefore, we have the opportunity to mold our lives and relationships in a way that supports mental health and a genuine sense of success by comprehending the effects of emptiness via the prism of psychoanalysis. Existential emptiness can be a strong motivator for achievement. Emptiness is viewed in psychoanalytic thought, particularly in Lacan's writings, as a space of possibilities rather than merely a gap. Lacan examines this idea in the seminar, book Xgex, Beyond the Pleasure Principle, where he contends that the pursuit of what one desires might be sparked by lack. To put it another way, it results from the absence of what motivates us to pursue fulfillment. We are compelled to consider our actual passions and objectives when we confront our emptiness. Julia Kristeva notes in The Desire and Its Interpretation that genuine desire emerges when one faces the absence, enabling one to realize their actual self. Therefore, we can choose to direct this energy toward our objectives and dreams rather than putting off the emptiness by petty actions. Furthermore, the thesis put forward by Viktor Frankl in Search of Meaning highlights the notion that discovering profound significance in our challenges can turn emptiness into motivation for action. Frankl asserts that the pursuit of meaning is essential to dealing with existential suffering. Emptiness can be an encouragement to creativity and invention when we can accept it as a necessary component of our journey. Internal disagreements are typically the source of inventiveness. In his book, The Creative Root, philosopher and theorist Arthur Koestler makes the case that conflict between various facets of the human being leads to creativity. In fact, we might discover fresh ways to express ourselves and creative answers to the problems we encounter if we embrace our emptiness. This movement makes it possible to turn our feelings and experiences into projects, artwork, or societal change. Furthermore, Brené Brown's research in Courage to be Imperfect emphasizes that vulnerability, which is frequently associated with a sense of emptiness, is essential for creativity. We can connect with our genuine selves when we let ourselves be vulnerable, and this enables us to create authentically. This genuineness is a strong force since it not only makes us stand out, but also connects with people and creates deep bonds. Therefore, acknowledging that emptiness is a necessary component of the trip is the first step towards invention. We can unleash our creativity and make our ideas a reality by embracing it and working with it. A world full of possibilities, where each of us has the possibility to innovate and make our mark on the world, becomes accessible when we accept nothingness as a place of opportunity. Consider how our internal conflicts, which frequently appear hopeless, can serve as the catalyst for significant success. We have the chance to rewrite our tale in this area of ambiguity. It's about giving our life purpose and creating a future that truly aligns with our goals and ideals. I would now like to know how you have handled your own emptiness. What techniques do you employ to transform your fears into strengths? Post your ideas and experiences in the comments section below. Sharing allows people to help one another and encourages others to view emptiness as an opportunity for self-awareness rather than as an enemy. If this video resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe to get more important stuff. By working together, we can create a community that looks for connection and purpose in all facets of life. What did you learn from this video? If it made sense to you, like it and share it with someone who could also benefit from this reflection. Together, we can help more people turn their challenges into strengths.